One of my favorite authors is Thomas Merton. He's a Catholic monk who wrote a lot during the 60s and 70s, 80s about nonviolence and peacemaking, especially during the Cold War. But he was a mystic. He wrote about a lot of things, and one of the things that he wrote that I absolutely love is about Ash Wednesday and Lent. And he's talking about how they're actually seasons that are full of joy, and this is the reason that he gives, which I just is so interesting to me. He says this: the reason that Ash Wednesday and Lent are so full of joy is that, quote, the source of all sorrow is the illusion that in ourselves we are anything but dust. The source of all sorrow, is the illusion that in ourselves we are anything but dust. That when we forget who we really are, when we forget our mortality, when we forget our brokenness, when we forget our emptiness and all of the things that limit us, and we try to pretend that we are something more than we are, when we try to become God in and of ourselves, when we try to pretend as though we are in some way immortal, when we try to pretend that we are more than we are, that is the source of our grief. That is the source of our sorrow. And only as we truly embrace our limitations can we have joy. In that way, he says, Ash Wednesday, where we literally smear ashes on our forehead as a reminder of our own mortality. Lent, in a season when we stop and we repent and we acknowledge the ways that we have fallen short and all of those things. Only then can we truly experience joy, because only then do we truly exist as the people that we really are. It strikes me that most of us spend our lives pretending to be something we aren't. Maybe even with the people that we are absolutely closest to. And we forget who we are because we spend so much time pretending to be somebody or something else. And so only as we remember who we truly are, and I would argue who we truly are in relationship to God, can we really find the joy that we all seek. Maybe that's not true. There are probably people out there for whom that isn't true, I suppose. So I guess I can only really speak for myself. But there is a certain joy in a certain freedom in acknowledging who we really are and embracing our need for someone or something beyond ourselves. So that's what we try to do during the Lenten season. And so I want to invite you today to take just a moment to stop and to remember that in the end, none of us are much more than dust.